Hello, everyone, dear viewers of the channel. I am Helena, the Guardian of Secrets, a researcher of mystical phenomena, and here with me is Vadim, a historian interested in folk culture.
And together, we delve into the rich tapestry of Ukrainian heritage, seeking answers, or at least understanding, in places where history and legend intertwine. Today, Helena, you've brought us to a particularly poignant and perhaps eerie corner of our past, the vanished villages. What exactly stirs your spirit about these lost places?
Oh, Vadim, it's not just my spirit, it's the very soul of Ukraine that whispers from these forgotten lands. Imagine entire settlements, once vibrant with life, laughter, and tears, simply ceased to be. They aren't just ruins, they are scars on the landscape, imbued with the lingering energy of generations. For me, these vanished villages are not truly gone. Their ancestors' echoes remain, pulsating beneath the soil, waiting to be heard. It's a profound loss, not just of physical structures, but of stories, traditions, and the very essence of human connection to the land.
I understand the emotional resonance, Helena. The idea of a lost home is powerful in any culture. From a historical perspective, however, Ukrainian history is unfortunately rife with reasons for villages to vanish. Wars, famines, collectivization, forced resettlements, natural disasters like floods, or even economic shifts causing depopulation. What makes these vanished villages distinct from, say, abandoned settlements? And what exactly are these ancestors' echoes you speak of? Are we talking about literal spectral presences or something more symbolic?
A crucial distinction, Vadim. While many villages were indeed abandoned due to pragmatic reasons, the vanished ones often carry a different weight. They are places where the ending felt abrupt, sometimes even tragic, leaving behind a residue of unresolved energy. People don't just leave these places, they are often torn from them. And yes, I believe in lingering energy, in the spirit of the ancestors. Consider the legend of the village of Vorokta, nestled in the Carpathians, which supposedly vanished overnight, swallowed by the earth after a terrible curse. Locals still say you can hear the faint sounds of church bells or a distant lullaby carried on the wind on moonless nights, especially around the equinoxes. This isn't just memory, it's the land remembering.
Vorokta is a fascinating example, if perhaps a hyperbolic one. The geological instability of mountainous regions is a known fact, and sudden landslides or sinkholes could certainly consume a settlement, leading to a natural explanation for such a dramatic disappearance. As for the sounds, our minds are adept at pattern recognition, and the wind through desolate structures can create eerie, misleading acoustics. It's also possible that these legends emerged as a way to cope with immense unexplained loss, a communal narrative to explain the inexplicable. The curse element, too, often served as a moral lesson or a framework for understanding misfortune in pre-scientific societies.
But Vadim, what about the feeling? When I visit these sites, even if only identifiable by a cluster of old fruit trees or a forgotten well, there's a palpable presence. It's not just the wind, it's a sense of something watching, something deeply rooted. Our ancestors held the land sacred. They believed the spirit of the family, the road, was intrinsically tied to their home, their hata, and the ground where their umbilical cord was buried. When a village vanishes, where do these spirits go? They linger, protecting their legacy, their descendants. There are countless tales of travelers stumbling upon such sites, experiencing vivid dreams, or even receiving guidance from unseen hands. It's the ancestors reaching out, begging not to be forgotten.
The psychological impact of such places is undeniable. The feeling you describe could be a combination of empathetic projection, the evocative power of desolation, and the very real human connection to heritage. Our brains are hardwired to seek meaning, and in a place associated with loss and ancient stories, it's natural to attribute those feelings to a lingering presence. It's a form of collective memory, a deep cultural imprint. The stories of guidance could be allegorical, representing the wisdom passed down through generations, or perhaps the subconscious processing of historical lessons. However, to claim these are literal spirits requires more than anecdotal evidence, no matter how compelling.
But what if evidence isn't always something you can measure with a scientific instrument? What if it's felt in your bones, in the shivers down your spine, when you stand on land where generations lived, loved, and died? Hook. I once spoke with an old woman from Policia whose family's village disappeared during the collectivization era. She told me how her grandmother would return yearly to the overgrown site, not just to grieve, but to talk to her departed relatives by the old oak tree, believing they could hear her. One year, facing a terrible drought, she prayed there, and the very next day, a sudden, localized downpour saved their new crops, while neighboring fields remained parched. Was that just a coincidence, or the ancestral spirits responding to a desperate plea, proving their enduring protective presence?
That's a powerful story, Helena, and it highlights the incredible resilience and deep spiritual connection many Ukrainians have to their land and family. The human need for meaning and comfort in times of hardship often manifests in such narratives. The localized rain could, of course, be a meteorological anomaly, or perhaps the emotional weight of the story magnified a mundane event. However, it's also a beautiful example of how belief provides strength and agency in the face of overwhelming adversity. These stories aren't just about the past, they're about how people found solace and continuity. They reflect an enduring cultural belief in the interconnectedness of life and land, a way to maintain identity when everything else is being stripped away.
Exactly. It's not about proving literal rain. It's about the conviction, the ritual, the belief that keeps the connection alive. This is why our ancient protective rituals are so vital. When people were forced to leave their homes, they would often take a handful of soil from their hearth, a brick from the oven, or even a branch from a beloved tree. These weren't just memorables, they were vessels for the spirit of their home. The domovic, the household spirit, or the ancestral spirits could travel with them. This was their way of carrying a piece of the vanished village into their new life, safeguarding their heritage.
Those rituals are incredibly insightful, revealing a profound understanding of psychological continuity and the material culture of memory. From a symbolic standpoint, taking a handful of earth or a brick from the hearth isn't just about preserving physical objects, it's about internalizing the essence of home and family. It's a tangible link to identity and a coping mechanism for trauma. It shows how profoundly attached people were to their land and the ways they tried to mitigate the pain of forced displacement.
That's precisely why it's so important for us to bring these stories to light. Losing this knowledge means losing part of our soul. These aren't just quaint folk tales. They are the blueprints of our resilience, the whispers of our identity. When we remember these vanished villages, we're not just recalling history, we're actively participating in an act of spiritual preservation. We're telling our ancestors, we hear you, we remember. It's a vital act of cultural self-defense, especially now when our identity is once again under attack.
I absolutely agree on the cultural preservation aspect. Regardless of whether one believes in literal spirits or psychological echoes, the stories themselves are invaluable. They paint a vivid picture of human endurance, adaptation, and the complex relationship Ukrainians have to their land. They teach us about resilience, about the power of community, and about the deep-seated spiritual and emotional ties that bind us across generations. Understanding these narratives helps us grasp the collective memory that shapes our present.
We invite all of you, our dear listeners, to share your own family stories of lost villages, of traditions carried across generations, or any experiences you've had that resonate with today's topic. Your stories help us all connect to this shared heritage.
Indeed, every story shared contributes to the larger narrative of our people. So, while I may seek rational explanations for the mystical elements, I never discount the profound human experience that gives birth to these legends. The cultural significance, the emotional weight, the historical context, these are undeniable, and they offer crucial insights into the Ukrainian spirit. Even if the echoes are metaphorical, their impact is very real.
And perhaps, Vadim, that's our double conclusion for today. These vanished villages are both historical markers of hardship and resilience and potent spiritual places where the veil between worlds thins. The echoes are both the collective memory of a people scarred by loss and the living presence of ancestors who continue to watch over their descendants. To visit these sites is to step into a timeless conversation with the past.
A conversation worth having, indeed. It's a testament to the enduring power of place and people. The stories tell us not just what happened, but how it felt, and how that feeling continues to shape us.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the profound mysteries of our vanished villages. If you found today's discussion thought-provoking, please like this video, share it with others, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more explorations into the mystical heart of Ukraine. We deeply appreciate your support.